Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Should we start, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवं। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining for today's Bhagavatam reading. So we will start uh, our discussion, our reading by with our glorification of Vrindavan Bhajan. So that would help me to grasp or to put in that mode. So Jaya, Jaya. Okay, something off. Okay. Jaya Rama, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradha. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Hare Krishna. Once again, thank you very much on a Sunday morning for joining the Bhagavatam reading. Thank you very much for taking that determination and doing on a Sunday morning, and that too when it is snowing. Once again, thank you very much. Okay, so before we start, a disclaimer. This particular talk or whatever I'm reading and sharing my thoughts, uh, in no way I'm qualified to speak anything on the transcendental topics, but yet as a service I'm doing, so there is there may be some mistakes which are my personal mistakes, and if there is anything that is right, it is all mercy of the Guru Parampara and our Acharyas. So with that, we will read today's the sloka that was given to me. We are reading today third canto, 32 chapter, and then second sloka. So this particular, since it is a second, just I want to mention what is this canto is all about. So the canto, 32 canto is entitled as Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. So here Lord Kapiladev is giving the instructions and explaining us how these fruitive activities are entangling us in the material world. So this is very important subject in my opinion for any sadhakas in order to achieve that transcendental success. So I will read just the text for the first one, and second we'll go into detail so that we have some background basis. The personality of Godhead said, the persons who lives in the center of household life derives material benefits by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again, he acts the same way. Now, let's go to the second one. स चापि भागवद्धर्मात् कामामुधा परान्मुखः यजते क्रतुभिर्देवान् पित्रांश्च श्रद्धायान्वितः. So once again, स चापि भगवद्धर्मात् कामामुधाः परान्मुखः यजते क्रतुभिर्देवान् पित्रांश्च श्रद्धायान्विताः. What Bhagavan meaning? Sa, he, cha api, moreover, Bhagavad Dharmat, from devotional service, kama mudaha, infatuated by lust, parak mukhaha, having the face turned away, yajate, worships, kratubihi, with sacrificial ceremonies, devan, the demigods, pitran, the forefather, cha, and shraddhaya, with faith, avitaha, endowed. Translation: such persons are ever bereft of devotional service due to being too attached to sense gratification, and therefore, although they perform various kinds of sacrifices and take great vows to satisfy the demigods and forefathers, they are not interested in Krishna conscious devotional service. So, purport by His Divine Grace, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 20th sloka, it is said that persons who worship demigods have lost their intelligence. Kamastaistera harta jnanaha. They are much attracted to sense gratification and therefore they worship the demigods. It is, of course, recommended in Vedic scriptures that if one wants money, health, education, then he should worship the various demigods. A materialistic person has manifold demands, and thus there are manifold demigods to satisfy his senses. Grahamedis who want to continue a prosperous materialistic way of life generally worship the demigods or the forefathers by offering pinda or respectful oblations oblations. Such persons are bereft of Krishna conscious and are not interested in devotional service to the Lord. This kind of so called pious and religious man is the result of impersonalism. The impersonalists maintain that the supreme absolute truth has no form and that one can imagine any form he likes for his benefit and worship in that way. Therefore, Grahamedis or materialistic men say that they can worship any form of a demigod as worship of the Supreme Lord, especially amongst the Hindus who those who are meat eaters they prefer to worship the goddess Kali because it is prescribed that one can sacrifice a goat before the goddess. They maintain that whether one worship the goddess Kali or the supreme personality of Godhead Vishnu or any demigods, the destination is the same. This is first class rascaldom, and such people are misled. But they prefer this philosophy. Bhagavad Gita does not accept such a rascaldom, and it is clearly stated that such methods are meant for persons who have lost their intelligence. The same judgment is confirmed here, and the word kama mudaha, meaning one who has lost his sense or his infatuated by the lust of attraction for sense gratification is used. Kama Mudaha are bereft of Krishna consciousness and devotional service and are infatuated by a strong desire for sense gratification. The worshippers of demigods are condemned in both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So, in my opinion, today's this topic is very important in perfecting my own life because the sense gratification, it clearly is saying that the word used bereft. This bereft means takes away from what? Okay, takes away from enjoyment or what it is. So it takes away the Krishna from the Krishna consciousness. And as we know, the Vedic literature clearly emphasizes the very purpose of life, Atato Brahma Jignasa, right? To understand who I am, that is the very purpose. So that means understanding one's own self is nothing but Krishna consciousness because it gives a clear cut pathway what you are and what you are not. And if what you are, then what should be the goal? So that clear analysis is based on this whole one particular principle. So now what are impediments for me to be Krishna conscious? And the impediments are the sense gratification. So here Kapil Dev, the Lord Kapila is saying that in the first sloka, he is saying that the materialistic or gruhamedis, they perform different types of yajnas or rituals for the benefit of, for the wish of opulence, all those opulences, money, health, whatnot, fame, everything. So they perform these things. And to whom they perform? These are performed from the Devatas. The Devatas are the administrative staff in the Lord's um, administration. These Devatas take care of individual departments. So they worship so many these rituals or pujas to please them so that they can get that opulence. So that is the whole crux of the business. Now let us see it is philosophically and in principle also it says that sense gratification takes away or bereft from the Krishna consciousness. Now it's a statement, but as jivas, we need to little bit analyze this. That will help me, especially. I like to understand the root cause of the whole issue because, right, we are all working in a corporate uh, world. So any problem comes, right? They do a detailed analysis. It's called root cause analysis. What is the purpose of this root cause analysis? Not to repeat that problem. So, so far in my career, the client that now I am in, they are very, because of the nature of their business, they are big on this one. Because any problem in life also, problems are inevitable. The problems less or problem free life is not there. Anybody, whether is a devotee or gruhamedi, materialistic person, the problems are inevitable. So then there is a saying, right, in Hindi, अकलमंद को इशारा काफी है. Mane, what that means? Yes, when there is a problem, then once the problem is we resolved, then we also need to understand what was the cause of this problem so that I don't need to face this once again. So similarly, now here I have taken the birth. Now the person who intelligent, he thinks, what is why I have taken the birth? What is the purpose of me? And then that puts the backward analysis, backward investigation, right? Yes, originally you are in the Goloka, but because of jealousy, isha, dvesha, right? Because of that jealousy on the Lord, and also because you want to be the enjoyer, then the Lord said, okay, we were put in this material world. That is the very symptom of this appearance here. Now, how once I am here, then there are different types of bodies, etc., etc. We are not going all that. So, in this body, the human body is the one body which has the intelligence. So, that intelligence should help us to perform this root cause analysis and help us how we can go beyond this birth and death cycle. So the very symptom of this atmosphere or the material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, right? So all these we have heard and we all know. So little bit extending that is the this body is made up of subtle things and gross things. So Panchabhuta, right? So all these things made up. So this is temporary. For some time it will be there, and after that it will perish. Or the so-called the living entity in this body is that the soul will live. So that whole thing help us to realize that this material world is temporary, right? So whatever I do, it's gonna go away one day. It is not that only the devotees know this. Even material people know that. Even who are not uh, aware about the all these things, they also know that because they are seeing that one. Now, coming to this sense gratification. Now, what are the senses? We all know we are the senses, right? Focusly, the senses are your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and skin. These are the main senses. So, is the senses are the problem? The senses are the agents. See, eye is performing its duty of seeing, and then nose it is performing its duty of smelling, and ears hearing, tongue tasting, and then skin touch. All this they are doing its job. But behind this, there is one thing. The analogy I would like to give is car. See, in car you have tires, steering, seats, body, everything. By itself, it doesn't do anything. The steering doesn't drive itself to go some places. Our tires will not go. But the person who is in the driver's seat, the driver is the one dictating where to go and what to do. And these steering, windshield, they are the instruments to gather the information, to know the situation, all these. Those are only things. So the culprit behind the if it is going wrong is not the steering or the tires or the body of the car. It is the driver. Okay. So when the driver is driving nicely, intelligently, then we reach the destination properly. If the driver is, let's say, drunken, now what is happening when this person is drunken? He drives crazy. Not only he hurts the body, not only he hurts himself. If there are other passengers, they are also hurt. Not only that, if there are other cars on the road, he is going to hurt them. Similarly, here also, this soul is residing in this body and that is governed through the mind. Mind is the driver for us. So, in order to overcome this or in order to understand and overcome this problem of sense gratification, the key lies in the mind. So, mind is very chanchal and it has to be tamed, or it has to be properly guided, or need to be educated, because the mind also, beyond the mind is intelligence. When that intelligence is pure and when that intelligence is spiritually grounded, the driver, the mind, will be properly driving. So for us to overcome those sense gratification is through the mind. I cannot say my nose, hey, stop. I cannot tell my tongue, hey, stop eating this. This is not good for you. It does it. It does its job. But the one who is controlling is that mind. Now, having said that, this sense gratification, even on the materialistic platform, is very detrimental. It, I use the same word, bereft from the material enjoyment also. Here is my reasoning. What to speak of the spiritual platform? Now, you all know, I take one particular example in the interest of time, not to go all the senses. The tongue. The tongue is voracious. Our Acharya says the tongue is the voracious. Why? It want the mind, basically the mind want to taste the food, lot of different foods, and then also it is loosely talks sometimes, right? Not sometimes, some cases, all the time. So this is very important that how material it is. This is not something I need to explain. I, this is for myself. I'm saying that now on a material platform these days, if you see, diabetics is a big problem, and the doctors, they say that the research says clearly demonstrates that this diabetics is the result of the lifestyle of the individuals. Now that is what is creating these diabetics. The day by day, the statics, you know how they say if you are this percentage, whatever that reading on that scale 1 to 10. Oh, earlier it used to be 2 means it's a problem. Now the bar is shifting. Now they are saying, oh, if on a scale of 1 to 10, if you are up to 5 is good, okay, and anything about 5 to 6 is you are pre-diabetic, and anything about 6.5 7. I'm just giving you the understanding. Now why this is happening? Because the food habits, look at the food habits, the forget about anything. Within my lifetime, when I was child and now, the variety of the food varieties we have, enormous. And then when I was growing, not that many varieties. And then access to that food. My God, you name it, you can just, without even leaving your home, you can get that. And then packaged food. When I was growing, there is not much packaged food. 30, 40 years back, when I, in my childhood, my mom used to cook almost all the 3 meals, but now it's not. And then we have refrigerator, we store so many things in the thinking that in future I will use. Sorry, I have some cough and stuffy nose. So that is the whole, our lifestyle is becoming and when you go to the parties also, people um, have like 100 plus varieties. I don't understand at all why they spend so much money lavishly. Just even anybody, can they anybody eat those 100? And then the way cooked. So what to speak subtle things, gross things also. So in a nutshell, what I am saying is the lifestyle is very messed up. Now, how this is material? Say, for example, when I am young, if I can eat anything, I can digest anything, probably then I can sustain. But gradually, what is happening? Our ability to digest things also going down because of the impurity in the foodstuff. Now, when in 1530, 30, 40 years back, the products, the food material used to be very organic and natural in the sense no pesticides, no other chemicals to grow them. So the industrialization made everything worse. So that suppose if I want to enjoy, can I eat everything? You can eat, but what is the consequence? Your health is going to be ruined. So, is it good for me? That sense gratification of tongue, is it good for me? No. By simple material standard itself, it is not helping. Then, what to speak of realization of the Supreme Lord and to be in that conscious? Absolutely no, no, no. So, in fact, this is a lesson for every individual, whether it's a devotee or non-devotee. Stop sense gratification. Now, what is that means? So, we have to regulate. See, without regulation, the life cannot go because often the Grihavedis think that these devotees they talk about don't do this and that. Yes, it is needed. See, unfortunately, even if you look at our medical practice, the modern medicine doesn't say don't eat this that. They say go cow whatever you want eat like a slash pig. I don't mean to say that, but that is they don't restrict anything. Then what the alternative they say? Take this pill and then you can enjoy everything. Unfortunately, that's not how our systems are designed. So, according to the Ayurveda, if you go to the Ayurvedic treatment, they'll say, okay, first you need to stop taking these food items. They say, when you stop this, because they address this one. Because recently I was a little bit researching on the diabetics, and then the modern medicine, when you go to the doctor, they say okay, certain things they will say you take protein, that thing, blah, blah. But they don't address. This is not my opinion. This is ChatGPT's opinion itself. It says Ayurvedic addresses the root cause and they don't treat this from the point of diabetics. Diabetics word is there in Ayurveda also, Madhumeha, right? They say your Agni, Jataragni, that need to be improved. Yes, right? Isn't it? So when you have that proper digestive enzymes or that digestive fire, then everything will be streamlined. That is the beautiful way of addressing this one. So what I am saying is in the material life itself, the sense gratification cannot be rampant. You have to have the do's and notes. So, brief. This topic, it could be a beautiful couple of days sessions. But in the interest of that, I just want to focus on certain things. Now, that is one way. Now, look at that. See, when you have perfect senses, then you are able to indulge in sense gratification. Now, imperfect senses means, let's say you have one has a problem with the senses, has problem with say diabetes or eyes or so many, so they cannot enjoy. So the people who are have proper senses, they should be thankful to the Lord that they are having these perfect senses. Now having just perfect senses is important. They have their own limitations. The senses, the tongue, can it eat everything? No. The eyes, can it see all the entire thing in the world? No. We have certain range, right? From this to this, we cannot see smaller things. We cannot see it's far things. So we have limitations. So within these limitations, we operate. And then whatever the so-called standard is concerned normal, we should be thankful to the Lord that we have perfect senses. Then how these senses need to be used in for the purpose of this life. So that understanding will only come through the Sadhu Sangha, because our scriptural reading, Sadhu Sangha or Krishna Bhakta Sangatya, that is only possible. Otherwise, this is not possible because before coming to the our Srila Prabhupada organization movement, I was pious. I mean, puja and other things we were doing. But this understanding move beyond the sense gratification. That understanding wasn't there because the society was over a period of time, the people are busy with the karmic activities. They don't have any time go beyond this. So now, but whereas Srila Prabhupada brought that the essence of the entire thing, Vedic literature, to us, giving ultimate, the topmost important thing for us. There is nothing that we need to go beyond this one. Why? Say, for example, Prabhupada brings a very beautiful point. See, meat eaters are there. So, in the Vedic literature, the meat eating is allowed with certain process. So, the people who take that one, they adhere to that process. So, also, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistrair Gunyo Bhavarjuna. It says the Vedic literature deals with the three modes of material nature. And one should go beyond that. That is what Krishna conscious or devotional service. So that is only the literature itself is saying. Because sense gratification and the modes of material nature, these are all important topics. They are interrelated. They are not just sense gratification is one thing. See, a person in what mode, that also determines how he is going to conduct his life. So in holistically we have to do this one. Now, and Srila Prabhupada says the materialistic people, they approach to the demigods. See, even Bhagavad Gita clear, Prabhupada mentioned, it clearly states in the Bhagavad Gita, it's not that ISKCON devotees introduce this philosophy. Not at all. This is Bhagavad Gita. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, अंतवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवत्य अल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामति. Right? So it says Antavattu Falma. See, people who are approaching the demigods, they are temporary. And the Lord says very beautifully, Alpamedasam. He's saying the people who are approaching demigods are less intelligent. Why is saying less intelligent? You are going to the demigods for temporary things. And then further he says, then who worship me, they come to my abode. All others, they go to their abodes. It's clear path. Not that, see, the goal is, when the goal is the supreme personality realization, the God realization, then approaching other ways, there is a destination. Say, for example, if I want to go to, my goal is Chicago, and if I take different routes, I may end up in different cities. But the path need to be very clear. So similarly, the Lord is clearly saying that one. But sometimes that is what it is, right? So now another thing I just want to draw quick clarification on bhakti versus puja. The bhakti term, Srila Prabhupada in one of the lecture, he clearly says the bhakti or devotion term can only be used for Lord Narayana or Lord Krishna. Why? The Lord Krishna or Narayana or Vishnu can only deliver one from the cycle of birth and death. No other form, in no other form that is possible. Because we have seen see, whatever it says, clear evidence is there, right? Hiranyakashipu, he performs a very austere. It's praiseworthy. See, for me to sit for half an hour or 1 hour to chant, it's very difficult. But Hiranyakashipu, ages, decades, yugas, I believe it is some 100 years or 1,000 years, he performed that austeric performance to receive the blessings or to get the boon from the Brahmaji. It is so, don't underestimate. Even Ravana is very scripturally sound person. So when devotees see these personalities, they feel like no, they are no stretch, they are beyond. But the only thing is their application was wrong. That is where they are. So they are in stretch. So for us, the Prabhupada has given this beautiful process of the topmost bhava. This the gopi bhava is the most beautiful thing. So in order to achieve that sense gratification. So now how can we? And also it is beautiful. Uh, See, when we go to the Lord with material intention. See, the Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita, four kinds of people will acquire. Come to me. One who is jnana jignasi, one the meaning who want the knowledge, and one who want opulence. Like that, one who is in morose, one difficult situation. See, the Lord is our eternal Father, and we can go to Him for anything. See, you can't say that, okay, you only ask this. Why acharyas say that you should not ask for material things? There is a reason. Of course, if as a individual, if that pain you cannot withstand and it is creating a problem in your devotional service or in your bhakti, definitely go and ask. The Lord know how to facilitate you, how to help you to come to the normal and then go beyond that problems. Nothing. The Lord, you can go and ask anything. But however, the here is the catch. When we go and ask for the material boons also, the Lord will give. He is the supreme creator. He is the owner of the entire thing. What is nothing? What is that he cannot give? So here is a beautiful pastime, Dhruva Maharaj. You all know this pastime. So Dhruva Maharaj goes to the forest that thinking that I want to have a kingdom even bigger than my father, bigger than my grandfather. That was the intent. Then he is on the path. Then Narad Muni appears causeless, out of causeless mercy and says, hey, you do this, you will achieve the Supreme Lord. He goes. So that is how Guru is guiding. Then he goes and he performs that severe penance, tapas, and then the Supreme Lord comes. Supreme Lord appears. Then the Dhruva Maharaj, when he sees the Lord Vishnu, he just says, "Oh Lord, I am looking for broken piece of glass. Now I don't want anything." The Lord says, the Lord is very pleased because he started with that material expectation, but rather when he saw the Supreme Lord, that ignorance shattered. And he said, what I am asking, what I am here for? Nothing. When the person whom I am praying is capable of giving me much, much, much magnificent than what I am looking, then he said, I don't looking for broken piece of glasses. I don't want anything. But the Lord said, that's okay. You came with that intention, material desire. I am going to, you will be here for several ages. You are going to rule the kingdom. You are going to be the king, and abundantly he bestowed that. After that, you come to me. So, what is the moral story here? When we go to the Lord, that material desire, the Lord will inundate with that. We will be frustrated. We will be frustrated with that because what? How much you will enjoy that one? For enjoyment, the sense enjoyment, it doesn't have that the taste, that bliss. Yes, in the beginning we think. So that is the reason Acharya says, be careful, don't ask for material things because by karma, when this body is created at that time, our prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, and kriyamana karma, right? The body is made to fulfill that prarabdha karma activities. So the body is made in such a way that according to the karma, papa, punya, whatever is there, either punya is there, okay, this guy will have good all the senses. If the guy performs some nasty things and there is a um, um, papa is there, then some of the senses will be taken care. So there will be no problem at all. You won't enjoy, So what the bottom line I'm saying is, we are in this material world, whatever the materials benefits or the things we need is already decided for that. There is nothing we need to ask. So then what we should ask? When the Lord comes, I should be asking, oh Lord, I would say, bless me with Sada Krishna Pada Smarana. Tava padasmarana. Bless me with Tava Padasmarana, Tava Sada Namaruchi, Tava Krishna, Tava Bhakta Sangatyam. Three things I would ask. What is that? Always I am in remembrance of your lotus feet. And then I always remember your, give me taste for your Nama. And then lastly, give me the association of your devotees. Because these things will help us. And one more thing I want to share my thought is when we ask for the blessings with the devotees and see, yes, any blessing can put you, give you the environment, but it cannot give you the goal. So that is very important things. So what is the now so far we have looked at in a diagnostical approach, we looked at all the what is the issue and how this is impacting us from Krishna consciousness or bhakti. So then what is the solution? So the only solution is three things, right? Praying to the Lord, and then association, and the simplest form in this Kali Yuga is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, right? There is Gatiranyada, 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 right? There is no other option, no other option, no other option, only Nama. See, the process is very simple, yet it is complex, I understand. But the Nama, always remembering that Nama will help us because Bhagavad Gita clearly laid out this process. Actually, there are two more slokas are there which I just mentioned because the Lord has given very beautiful flow how this senses and how this one uh, loses his intelligence, and that is dhyayato vishayan pumsah, right? संगस्येषुपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोद्भिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, right? So this is a very beautiful shloka. I should remember this shloka every day because that will help me how this Buddhi Vinasha, how this fall is happening. Dhyayato, it is starting with meditating. Dhyayato, right? This meditation. So, meditation in what? Dhyayato Vishayan, the materialistic aspects. So, the meditation, so I have to shift my meditation from materialistic activities to the Lord's pastimes. The best way is cultivate the habit. I should cultivate the habit of remembering the Lord's name Sada. See, because the beautifully the Bhagavad Gita lays out everything. On top of that, Srila Prabhupada made it so simple because he not only, in a simplest way, I would say, is peel the banana. He, in fact, he mushed it out, and you don't need to even put the whole banana and munch. You just take that substance. What I'm saying, he made it so simple. There is nothing beyond what Prabhupada has given as needed, in my opinion. And that itself is enough for us. So, what is the solution? Solution is Nama. In this age, remember Nama. That will help us to overcome this sense gratification. So, finally, a beautiful thing I want to share. Say there was a miser merchant. Miser merchant is a wealthy businessman. So he goes to a sadhu and he says, he begs the sadhu. Sadhu, sannyasi was in the nearest forest. So he says, can you please tell me something that I could do without spending anything but get the mercy of the Lord? The sadhu looks at him. Okay, he says, why not? There is a simple process is there. All you have to do is you don't need to spend anything, you don't need to spend any money or anything. So all you have to do is every day, all the time, meditate on this name. And he tells the name. Always you just say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then the miser business merchant thinks, wow, that's a very nice. So he's so much into that. Utte, bhaite, sitting, waking, every time he's always remembering and saying that Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then, as usual, some customary things are there, right? He's offering the boga, and then so one day it so happened that he was making a payasam, and when he was making that payasam, uh, the so-called what happened is he puts little bit more sugar. Then he was repenting. Oh my God, why I put more sugar? See, he was miser, right? So he is not into much philosophy. But simple thing is, he's a miser. So he was offering, and then he got a tight slap. Then he was, what is that? Nobody is there. Then he bewildered. I offered like as usual, but how come today I got a tight slap? Then he rushes to the sadhu. Baba, today I was offering and I got a tight slap. Then sadhu says, don't worry, now you are delivered. Just go. Because what he doing is nirantar, unconsciously, unknowingly, he's meditating on the Lord's name, Hare Krishna. And that, because he's always into that, because he's not spending. So that is how he achieved the perfection. So to be in the devotion, I don't need a high IQ. All I need is SQ, spiritual coefficient, not intelligent quotient. So, having said that, so sense gratification is not good for my Krishna conscious, and the only solution is I should be try to cultivate the habit of remembering all the time Krishna. And how I can do? The process is given. So that is the simplest thing I can do. So I would uh, end here. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And please feel free to share your thoughts. Hare Krishna.